Hey everybody, we're still at the Wild Tree Farms yard. Helicopter flying over, if you can hear that. But it is time for our unicorn bee barn inspection, which we're pretty excited about. Check them out, how they're doing. There is tons of activity out here, which is awesome to see. Very excited about that. There's a tick on the side of the bee barn. We don't like to see that. Ticks are real bad this year. And let's take a look at how they're doing. Fair amount of activity all around. Oh, wow. Built an entire sheet of comb on the bottom of the feeder, which now I'm realizing maybe the deep feeder is not such a great idea. Because what are we going to do with all this? Nothing supporting it, so I got to be really careful with it. Make sure the queen's not on here because there are eggs all over. Young larva. Decent size larva. That stinks, but I guess lesson learned on that. We'll crumple that down, melt it down. Okay, off to a, call it surprising start. Oh my goodness, this frame is so heavy. What are you seeing over on your side? Tons of resources. Food, 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 and bee bread. That's what I'm seeing on my side too. Oh goodness. And they've built a chunk of comb that's in the way down there. Let's see if I can just scrape it off with the frame. I can. I'm sure they weren't happy about that. Much lighter. Ooh, look at all the brood on there, on my side anyway. Oh wow. So much brood. Look at that. That's incredible. She's doing amazing. And there's eggs all the way up to the top of here. So this is going to be an entire frame of brood. A fly just landed on my hand and scared the crap out of me. I don't know why. I'm literally in a beehive. Pretty expected that I'll have bees land on me at some point. Right? See what the next frame has in store. Working nice and smooth and calm. The only way to work when you don't want to wear gloves. And I do not like wearing gloves. Oh, this is very light. Full of brood. On my side anyway. We got some drone brood. We got some good brood. Similar situation on your side. Drone brood across the middle. And brood all the way across the inside here, all the way up and down. She is busy. This is a booming hive. And I can see before I even pull this next swarm out that there's copious amounts of brood on the next frame too. Just so exciting. These bee barns are just killing. I mean, right now the weather's so nice that it's probably, you know, the same across the way in the apiary, but it has been kind of cool here and there. It's been super rainy. Not that the beehives are necessarily bothered by that. They all should be relatively waterproof, but just there's no fluctuations in temperature. They're so insulated. That whole side's filled with brood. Oh my gosh, look at that side. Amazing amount of brood. Baby bees everywhere. And it's laid. I mean, there's eggs all the way out to the end of this frame. Let's see if we can't find her. I mean, there's been eggs on a number of these frames, so she's been kind of in and out doing her thing. I haven't found her yet. But we still got 3 frames to go, and I see more brood on the next frame. The only thing without wearing gloves, my hands are just absolutely stuck with propolis and wax and honey, which isn't necessarily the most pleasant feeling. But I do think that helps when handling frames without gloves, because I think they smell my fingers that are caked in propolis and hive smelling things, and they're like, yeah, that's part of the hive, no worries, we're not gonna sting that. Tons of brood on this side. Oh my goodness, tons of brood on this side too. More drone brood a little bit. Tons of worker brood. Still don't see the queen. But there's no doubt that she's here. I mean, there's eggs all the way down to the bottom of this frame. We do need to. It's June now. These are new packages, so I wasn't super concerned initially about mites and things and what the numbers are, but we do need to start testing for mites, so we'll probably do that next week. Get in here and do not so much of a full inspection, but just to get in here, test for mites. I got bees on both of my thumbs here. Can you look out, little bees? Just checking me out. Smelling all that propolis. Just like part of the hive. Don't worry about this guy, anybody. I'm going to try and graft after this inspection. If you are not following along to my queen rearing playlist saga, definitely check it out. This hive, or this frame, is stuck down or something. Oh, it's a little bit heavier. Definitely more resources on this frame than the last couple. Some holes throughout this frame, which is fine. That's kind of the whole, one of the great things about these bee barns and these big frames is that they provide gaps so that the bees can build passages however they want, whatever makes sense to them. And they do, and it's fantastic. There's brood all the way down this side. Eggs all throughout this frame again. They're drawing out, and there's eggs all the way down to the bottom of the very, I mean, these frames, their cells aren't even really quote unquote drawn out. They definitely need to be more drawn out in order to like sustain and grow a bee. But she's already laid in them, so she's telling the rest of the bees, you know, let's get moving. There's a solid chance. I mean, this frame should be easily able to hide from me in and amongst all these little crevices that they have built. So I'll be really careful because the bees are, I think because of the propolis, all over my hands. They're loving my fingers. They just hang out. Think we're pals, which we are. This frame looks very resource heavy. Not sure I even want to necessarily go into it, but I've already pulled it away, so we're gonna do it. See what's up in this last frame. Sometimes I leave the last frames. Usually I've seen everything I need to by the time I get to the last frame. And roll my finger over underneath it because my grip wasn't all that great on it. I think the bee is actually cleaning my thumb because it's so dirty. Thank you, my lady. A lot of resources on this side. I mean, there's a chance that the queen is going to be here for the sole purpose that I've like walked my way over, and she is. This is not normally a frame you would see a queen on. But you can see her. She is right here, roaming about. I mean, this is purely a resource frame. She's not laying any eggs or anything over here, but I think because of the way I've inspected, and I worked from one end to the other, I slowly chase her that way. That's fine. I think it is what it is. She's doing great. Just one of those things that then makes, you know, inspecting take that much longer because it takes you a little while to find what you're looking for. And there it is. Unicorn Hive is doing great. We have a situation with the feeder, but what I can do, depending on, I mean, it's been out for a little bit, but it's super warm out here today. Oh, it's really hard to see in here though, because it's just the natural comb. I was thinking about maybe trying to use it for grafting. Maybe we'll try that. I mean, this queen's awesome, so I have no problem with that. Let's do that. Let's give this a shot. We're going to try and graft with this so the brood isn't a total waste. I mean, for the people that like are worried about getting stung and stuff, I just kind of pinched a bee in between my hand and that frame feeder, and it just buzzed a lot. It was uncomfortable, but they don't want to sting you. So she buzzed, makes me, you know, aware of the situation. I let her go. She goes about her way. So I guess I'm going to leave it like this. A little dangerous that they'll build some crazy comb on it, but it is what it is for today. And I think we'll just have to kind of make note of it and see if we can. Maybe I'll try and grab that frame today still. I have it today basically like reserved for like all things bees. So the fam knows we're trying to get some time to really commit to this right now today, because it's been a little bit since we've been out here. So that's the unicorn hive for today. Like I said, I may come back and drop another deep frame in because I do have one. But otherwise, you're not missing anything. They're growing. They're growing like crazy. Things are looking awesome for the unicorn hive. And hopefully soon, if the queen rearing activities go as well as we hope it does, we'll be having a mated queen so that we can take half of these bees and put it in the other bee barn for Harv's bear bee barn, and we'll then have 2 bee barns going. So stick with us. It's been a blast. Beautiful day out here at the Wild Tree Farmyard here, and stay tuned. If you haven't already, check out the queen rearing saga. Hasn't been super successful, but we're learning. Practice makes perfect, or at least practice makes better, and that's what our goal is. We want to get better at this, because it's fun. Queen rearing is really interesting. So we're having a good time, even though it hasn't been all wildly successful. Hey everybody, we're back with the unicorn hive. Remember, we took that feeder out. Well, we want to make sure that we replace it with another frame. Otherwise, they will build out comb like crazy, all where we don't want it. So it's gonna be a really quick one. We're just gonna get in here, give them a little puff. We don't want to make anybody super angry. Let them know we're coming in. Oh, in 2 days, everybody. 2 days. Look what they've done. That is amazing. So my main concern is making sure that the queen isn't here. I don't see the queen. I'm not gonna make anybody super happy that I'm doing this, but kind of like a cutout, but of your own hive. Oops, I'm sorry. You pinch a bee and they kind of give you a little business. So we'll save that, add it to our bird comb pile. All right, that's off. I'm gonna jostle these bees back in here. I want to make sure you all stay together. Your family. Stay close. There's nothing in here, which, like I said, it's been 2 days. But look what they can do when they put their minds to something that you don't want them to do. Nothing in here, that's good. But what I'm going to show you is they've also started messing with this. There's some comb on the bottom of this frame. I'm going to get off. But they've started building wonky comb here because you give them space and they will. They'll just do all sorts of crazy things. And you got to let them know. I'm gonna cut this off, everybody. Come on. Let me cut this off. And cut this one off. Okay, now that that's done, it's all cut off. What we're gonna do is we're gonna move the frame that we just brought, the empty frame. We want to make sure that they do well with the spacing of everything. And so we're actually going to put it kind of in the middle. We're going to make sure there's always at least 2 frames with brood, which so many of these frames have brood. Because we never want to leave frames without brood, or if it's like a frame that's all by itself with brood. So let's put this here. I'm going to slide this over. I'm going to put our new frame, which I had made initially with this. We've made 8. Put that in there. Push this all up tight. Push this back. Excuse me. Now it's all nice and tight, snug. We've got all the comb off. We got a new frame here to start building up and expanding into. And we're good to go. This hive is good to be left alone now again for a little while until the cells that we're grafting over in Hive 4 are ready to be used. And then we will start making some splits and we'll populate the other bee barn. So if you haven't followed along, make sure you follow along with our queen rearing, because this round we're super excited about. I don't want to ruin any surprises, but we did much better than our first round. So take a look and follow along if you're at all interested in queen rearing. But that's the unicorn hive. That's the update this week. Super excited. They're just trucking along. I love these bee barns. Have a good one.